Hey y'all, welcome to my video. It's your girl Michaela Janae here, back with another makeup tutorial. And today's makeup tutorial will be Valentine's Day inspired. I am in love with this eye look. We did something winged out and it turned out phenomenal. So I did this makeup look before I got some new products, and just every time I do a makeup look, I'm progressively getting better. So this one was like the first step to getting better. So right here you see me going in with my little dollar store eyebrow pencil. I'm trying to get my brows more and more natural, but at the end they always look good. Like, I make sure they look good, but I just want to make sure that I'm progressively learning how to make them more natural looking. And right now I'm going in with some concealer underneath her brows. I'm using the LA Girl Pro Concealer in Fawn with a small angled brush and just cleaning up underneath her brows on both of them. And then I like to take a lighter concealer and go right there in the arch just to add some lightness, almost like a white. I like it to be right there because it really brings the right amount of brightness to the eyes. I do this on my own makeup. Now with a skin tone concealer, I'm going in on the top of her brows, and we already discussed she likes a really skinny brow, and so do I. Like, whenever I'm doing people's makeup, it's just easier to make it skinny unless they have like the really pretty naturally bushy brows, but skinny is easy to do. So right now I'm going in with my lightest concealer, and this one is actually by e.l.f. The new e.l.f. concealers that I have are absolutely my favorite. You're going to be seeing them in my next makeup video, but I love these concealers. They're a good coverage. So right now I'm taking a fluffy brush, just tapping that in, making sure that it is nice and blended and there's no moisture on the eyelids. I always go back and forth and continue to blend my eyebrows, and then I added another layer of that concealer just to make a good eyeshadow base, to have something, you know, full coverage for my eyeshadow to stick to. Now I'm going in with a pink shadow, probably out of my James Charles palette. It's that bright bubblegum pink that everyone loves. I know I love it. And I'm putting that all in her crease, and I want that to be very, very pigmented. Now I'm going in with that dark reddish burgundy color in the James Charles palette, but it could be in any palette. If your palette is pigmented, use it, okay? Now I'm going in with a fluffy brush, just blending that out. I like to call myself the blending queen, the bob queen. I'm the queen of a couple things, but I love a super blended eye. Right now I am carving out her shape in the cut crease. I want to do something, you know, really perfect, something really sharp. So I'm using that super light e.l.f. concealer once again and just perfecting that cut crease. I'm not the type of person that can give you any cut crease tips because it's actually really easy for me. I just go back and forth and eyeball and see if it's looking right. If one's higher, I just go make the other one higher, and then they end up looking pretty even. But I just want to make sure that I cannot see that much of the pink underneath, and that I have a good amount of concealer on her eyelid for that cut crease. Now you see me going in with this flat fluffy brush, and I am putting down my first cut crease shade. It is like this super pretty goldish pink, rose gold color. And then I'm going in with my dark burgundy and a little bit of purple and that bright pink, and diffusing the edge of my cut crease, kind of like making it come in, making it blend. And we just want to make that super blended and have a nice ombre going on. Now I am adding just a dash of black, okay? And in that dash of black in the outer corner, I'm going to wing it out and make this look more winged. I could have done it with concealer, but for this look I wanted it to be more organic. So now I'm going in with my e.l.f. liquid shadow, which is a must. It is a great dupe for the Stila. I have used both, and to say this one is only $6, it works great. So I just put that in between the pink and the rose gold. I added a little highlight to her upper brow area, and now we're going on to foundation. I did use a primer, but it was her primer. I don't even remember what kind it was, but it was something luminous. And this is also her foundation, and this is the Fenty Luminous Foundation, which this allowed me to get an opportunity to see what I wanted to put in my kit. And I would much rather, you know, something more matte to use on my clients, which this left a really pretty skin-like finish, which is great. Thank you, Miss Rihanna. We love Fenty over here. We stand Black-owned businesses. But as far as being a makeup artist, people are coming to get their makeup done for it to last and for it to look a certain way throughout the day. So I'd rather them start off super matte and then get oily if they have oily skin throughout the day, you know. And I want that to be further enough down the line to where they can stay matte as long as possible. So right now I'm applying this foundation with a brush. She did ask me would I rather a brush or a sponge, and I found that both of them are effective, but I've heard for a more full coverage look it's best to go with the brush. You know, a sponge picks up a little bit of that product. So if you're going for a less makeup look, definitely use a sponge. Brush is more full coverage. So now I am applying concealer, which once again I am learning the makeup and realizing that the LA Girl Pro Concealer does not have enough coverage for me on certain makeup looks, and that's what I used today, and I just wasn't fulfilled with the amount of coverage. When people have, you know, not necessarily bags, but like lines underneath their eyes, you want to do a little bit more coverage. And I found the LA Girl Pro Concealer, it's buildable, but I don't want to have to work that hard to get the right amount of coverage. So right now I'm just blending that out, and I'm going to go in and add some more. Like I said, building it up to give me that coverage that I'm looking for, but it still wasn't doing what it needed to be done for me. Nothing's wrong with LA Girl. I would still use it as an eyeshadow primer and stuff like that, but I don't think I'd use it on the face really, unless it's a contouring product, which I don't like my contours to be, you know, super dark or, you know, super opaque, shall I say. Because as you can see right now, I'm using this e.l.f. palette, I believe. It's a cream contour, and I love it. It's not too harsh. It looks really, really good. It's not too many shades darker than her skin. And I'm just applying it with a small brush in the areas where I want the contour. And of course, I'm doing her nose. I'm still working on my nose contours too. Like, they never look bad, but I want to learn how to snatch a nose, which I'm the type of person where I always embrace noses. I think her nose is beautiful. We was actually discussing this. Like, black noses are beautiful to me, honey. The wider, the better. Like, our noses are it. I love it. So I'm not trying to make them look skinnier. I just want to perfect, you know, the lines that I draw on them, okay? So right now I used that same foundation brush to blend out that contour, and I used some cream blush to, you know, add a little bit of color into her face. Now I'm setting her face with my Airspun powder. Once again, learning about these products. I did pick up a new powder recently because I want a little bit more of a matte coverage. Now I'm blending out that nose contour with a fluffy eyeshadow brush. But yeah, also it's really important to use the same brush or the same sponge when you are doing the face makeup, because it just helps it to blend. Make sure nothing's, you know, still wet or not wet on it. But if you're using the same tool, it helps it to blend better. So now I'm taking a brush and kind of brushing away some of my powder, not all of it though. So now I'm using my black liner and lining her under eye area. I think it's called tight lining. And yeah, she was just nervous I was going to poke her in the eye, but I don't think I did that this day. It was all going pretty good. Now I'm going underneath and smudging out her waterline with some pink, kind of connecting it. I used to be not into this at all, but now I kind of love the look, so I've been doing it more when it calls for it. Every situation is different. Now I'm going in with my blush and my highlighter. This is my absolute favorite highlighter. It is the Maybelline Master Chrome. Ever since Aaliyah J put me onto this back in the day, I love it. I use it on every client, no matter the skin tone. It is the right amount of brightness, okay? And the blush is Black Radiance, and that is also something that I use on every skin tone, every client, because it is universal. I'm going in with a brown liner because I love a brown lined lip. I don't think I've done a client yet where they did not wear a nude lip. It's just different variations of nude. So right now I'm lining her lips pretty thickly because once again I like how that looks, and I'm going in with my e.l.f. lip palette and giving her a nice little pinky nude lip combo with some gloss, of course, and then I'm going in with this gold, rose gold gloss to put on top of it. She set her own face going crazy, but that's my girl. And I kind of changed the light right here so you can see how she looks in warm light. Like, look at her. She is beautiful, first of all. She looks exactly like Alyssa Ashley and Arnell, and she killed this look. Like, I'm definitely bringing her back for another look because her face is a great canvas. I'm not that, but I am that.
I can't wait to see how somebody else do my brows, because you know how I like them, right?
Really?
It's awkward.
Mm-hmm.
Like you do yours.
I never did berry.
You didn't see that on my story?
Not a bear, no!
Baby, I'm right here and the bear's at the car, that close.
No!
At the trash can.
A
Yes.
big old bear.
3 of them. Whole family.
No, you're gonna have to show me that video.
I'll be trying to get it perfect, and if it don't look right, I'll be feeling so bad. Like, for myself. I'm like, dang, because I mean, they just gonna go home and wash it off, but like, I done already took pictures of it like I thought it was cute.